This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Back on halftime and talking with Alyssa Orange from Big Trail Nation at Bogle Park. You guys are covering everything inside and out with the SEC softball tournament. And it looks like it may end up with a game going into extras. Not a day where you want something like that, Alyssa, because you're going to end up there till midnight. What's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Ole Miss and LSU tied 3-3 at the moment, and you obviously look at how that pushes back games, and we know all about that in Hoover, but also the weather. You're also trying to play a game with Mother Nature, try to get all these games in and hope that she can cooperate today. So we'll see how this goes.
Does Arkansas need to do anything in order to secure their spot as a national seed and host at Bogle Park, or are they in a pretty good position right now?
You know, I think they're in a pretty good position. I mean, the only way I think that they don't host a regional is if something crazy happens in some other tournaments that maybe bump some people up. But we usually don't see that kind of movement significantly. And the last time that I checked, they're a 12 seed or a 13 seed, and I don't see them falling out of the top 16. Now, you want to win, and obviously that just helps your case. But if they do happen to lose on Thursday, I don't think there's enough around the country with some other teams there that are looking for a spot that are going to affect them. If they were more of a 15 or 16, I think you have to at least win a game or two to solidify that spot, but I think they're safe where they are.
Is there a fan base that is known for showing up at this tournament specifically more so than other fan bases? You know, I'm not used to campus sites for conference tournaments. Because basketball tournaments are neutral sites. The baseball tournament is, these are sort of like neutral sites. The women's tournament is a South Carolina invitational. We know the men's tournament is a Kentucky invitational. The baseball tournament is like, we put it in Hoover because the Alabama schools are close. Yeah, whatever. It's because LSU is really close. Which is the fan base that's known for showing up for this tournament, or is there even one at all?
Yeah, I think if you had to pick one, it's just a little bit of a different monster because it rotates around. And so kind of to your point, fans know, okay, I can kind of look at what it looks like down the road and pick which tournament I want to go to. But when it comes to college softball, I really think you got to tip your cap to the Alabama fans. They're always going to show up. They had a huge showing up last year in Gainesville, Florida for the tournament. So I expect to see a lot of Alabama fans here today. And then if they win that game against Missouri, they obviously play Arkansas, and I think you're going to have a packed house with a good representation from Alabama. I don't think you're going to have it 50-50 by any means. I think Arkansas fans are going to fill the park. But even looking around the field here, there's a lot of just Arkansas fans here to watch good softball. But if you had to say Alabama, I think Alabama. But it's not like, Big Blue Nation during basketball season where they just show up in waves and it's ridiculous.
So the basketball roster with men's basketball is awfully difficult to figure out what it is going to look. We get little pieces of information here and there, and then sometimes you still don't know what to believe. Makai Mitchell put out the statement yesterday, or his Instagram post, which is supposed to be as good as a press release in a lot of people's eyes, that he's coming back, and it was shared by Razorback men's basketball Instagram post with a "he's back" graphic. This graphic has now been deleted from the Arkansas men's basketball Instagram, and that's setting off a whole bunch of questions from people as to what the heck is going on here. Because this is how we investigate. When you put something on social media, it's supposed to stick, but you can also delete posts. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm interested, and I've had some conversations. I just, I think that we've learned, and if you look at just this past couple of weeks or months, Trevin Brazile and Jalen Graham got official announcements by the university that they were coming back. You can look on that Instagram page. They're there. There wasn't that for Darian Ford or for Barry Dunning Jr. And then obviously they said they wanted to come back, or they were coming back, and then they entered the transfer portal. Makai Mitchell, we've kind of been waiting for it because Mikel made his decision pretty quickly after the season was over about what he was going to do. And so he puts this out there, and you're like, okay, but is that doesn't feel official? Are we about to have another Barry Dunning and Darian Ford situation? Because the university feels like they have to kind of be the official announcement as opposed like with the men's basketball team. And so I kind of start talking to some people that I know, like, what's going on? And so people are like, well, I don't know how to take this because it looks official, but we don't know if it's official. And then today, someone put it on Razorback men's basketball Instagram, and 30 minutes later, it was gone. I don't know what to think. I just know it raises a lot of questions. And I'm curious to see how this all falls out. And I don't know what this means and if this is a glimpse into behind the curtain, so to speak, of the inner workings of how the men's basketball program is run. But is Makai Mitchell trying to create, keep the ball in his own court and dictate the narrative? And like, what is going on? I have so many questions. Like, what does this mean? Like, is he trying to say, I'm coming back until you make me leave? I have no idea. And I don't think any of us do. Does he have a spot? Well, maybe he has a spot if they don't find somebody else to take his spot. Like, what does that mean? And so it's really eye-opening to see, because it feels like people aren't on the same page. And so where do the chips fall from here? I just feel like there's a lot that we don't know.
I had a 7th grade basketball coach tell us one year, he said, you'll never be on the same team again because there's a turnover. Mm-hmm. And it's more true now than ever. And the college basketball is the wild, wild west. I don't think we all understand it yet. But, Alyssa, I do think, I'm glad that we have Coach Muss. I think he handles it well, and I think he's going to put a good squad out there on the floor, whoever it is.
Yeah, we all know if there's anything about Eric Musselman, he knows how to craft a roster. He knows exactly what he wants, and he tries to get what he wants, and it's all about winning a national title. It's all about figuring out the right pieces in the right formula, and even throughout the season, what does it take to win a national championship? We know that he is good at coaching basketball. He's good at picking pieces apart and being prepared, and we all know that. This roster management stuff is new to all of us, and there's always that argument of, the loyalty to the kids who committed to you is only good for a year. Is that appropriate? But it's the way of the transfer portal. It's just how it is. They run their business like an NBA team. And how are people treated behind closed doors? There's so many other things that no one else really knows unless you're a part of it. But at the end of the day, Musselman knows how to win basketball games, and he's proven that. So which direction do you take? Do you know what I mean? And that's just maybe how it is right now in college basketball.
And what they're getting paid. I mean, you see Hunter Dickinson, he just said he's going to Kansas because they gave him the most money. It's just a different thing now. Is it college basketball? It's not the same as what it used to be.
You used to not say the quiet part out loud. Now it's okay to do it. That's what Hunter did.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's like, and that's
what's so crazy is like, it's all about money, and now these kids can say that, and so we knew that this was what NIL was going to create, and collectives and all those kind of things, and it's like my talent goes to the highest bidder. We saw that with Isaiah Wong last year when he said Miami needs to pay me X or I'm gone, and I guess they did because he didn't go anywhere, but it's that kind of stuff where it's like, man, that's really hard to navigate around, and there's parts of it that I like, and there's parts of it that I don't like, but I feel like everyone kind of feels that way. But it's the world we live in right now, so there's so much that we're just still trying to figure out.
Well, if there's another piece of this story to come out involving Makai Mitchell, you better do it in a day, because the portal is open one more day tomorrow.
Oh, this is
That's
it.
it.
This is it.
Yeah.
And if you're not in that portal, then you're on the team, or I guess you're not, huh?
Yeah, and this is why I feel like it might have been a little more calculated and executed on purpose, maybe from Makai, because it's like, well, if you don't have, you got a day to find someone, and if you don't, here I am, I'm back. But he wanted to make that announcement beforehand. I don't know. That is the first instinct that I got. This was Makai Mitchell taking control of his own message. I don't know if that pushes any pressure on how they're going to find somebody or what that even looks like inside the team. But I just feel like, that seemed really calculated to me.
And I get your point, especially with Darian Ford, an in-state guy, and I think he's going to do well. I think Vanderbilt would be a good spot for him. Now, is Makai's brother, has he committed to a different school anywhere? Is there any news on him?
I don't think so, and I haven't had it. I was thinking the same thing of I don't think we've heard where he's going to go yet either. So it's all interesting because these players sometimes leave because there aren't spots for them on the roster, but then they've got to find a place to play. And, Barry Dunning was obviously able to go to UAB. And so it'll be, I believe Darian Ford at least took a visit to Vanderbilt. I don't know if he committed to Vanderbilt.
No, he had 2 other visits, Alyssa, that he was going to go to. Yeah.
Okay. I'm so wrapped up in softball and baseball right now. I'm trying to keep up. Part of me is like, call me in August when the roster's official.
Right, yeah.
Because that's how I feel. It's hard to keep up. But, you do hope that these guys find a spot. But I don't know if he has.
Well, at least you're not planning a birthday party anymore. How did Bella's hippie party go last weekend?
Oh, it was so fun. It was so fun. We got a bounce house, and they let you keep those for the whole weekend. They set it up Friday, and they break it down on Monday. And she had this little outfit, and she was napping as the party kind of started. So she was 15 minutes late to her own party, but she got her outfit in, and she just strutted into the yard. It was so cute, and she had a blast. It was hot, but I'm glad it didn't rain, and I think she had a really, really good time. I think everybody else did too, and slept great that night, too, because they just jumped and bounced their little energy out. So it was a lot of fun.
Good planning. They do make bell bottoms for 2-year-olds, right?
They do. Yes. I posted a picture of her outfit on my Twitter page. If anyone hasn't seen it, it was so cute. Thanks, Amazon.
Betonline.ag is your #1 source for all your basketball info, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest player reports for this year's pro basketball playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters this season, as we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. Basketball, MLB, NHL hockey, right down to UFC and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games you can play right from your home. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BLEAV. BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.